الحمدللہ رب العالمین والصلو والسلام علی سید المرسلین اما بعد فاعوذ باللہ من الشیطان الرجیم بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم الصلاة والسلام علیکہ یا رسول اللہ
الصلاة والسلام علیکہ یا رسول اللہ
وعلی آلک وصحبک یا حبیب اللہ
وعلی آلک وصحبک یا حبیب اللہ
الصلاة والسلام علیکہ یا نبی اللہ
الصلاة والسلام علیکہ یا نبی اللہ
وعلی آلک وصحبک یا نور اللہ
وعلی آلک وصحبک یا نور اللہ
MashaAllah. My dear Islamic brothers and viewers of Madani channel, welcome to the Silsila Blissfull Saher, the Sari program in the UK. Many people in the UK perform the Sari, and around Europe people are performing Sari as we speak. In this program, and every day we discuss a certain topic, and inshallah the topic, I'm just going to give you the name of the topic now, but obviously we'll discuss the topic a little bit later. The special blessings of Allah Azza wa Jal. Today we're going to discuss the special blessings of Allah Azza wa Jal. But before we continue with our Silsila, we're going to have a recitation from the Holy Quran.
In order to earn reward and gain the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jal, I will recite from the glorious Quran. Please listen to it attentively and try to not talk or do any activities whilst the Quran Pak is being recited. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان الشمس والقمر بحسبان والنجم والشجر يسجدان والسماء رفعها ووضع الميزان ألا تطغوا في الميزان وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط ولا تخسروا الميزان والأرض وضعها للأنام فيها فاكهة والنخل ذات الأكمام والحب ذو العصف والريحان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان صدق الله العظيم.
Subhanallah. Subhanallah. My dear Islamic brothers and viewers of Madani channel, you know what I'm going to say. I've been saying it every single day during this program in the month of Ramadan, that please make a habit of reciting the Holy Quran on a daily basis. Please make a habit. Amir al-Sunnah's Madani Adamat card, he instructs us and guides us to read at least 3 verses from the Holy Quran with translation and commentary on a daily basis. And inshallah, we'll make a habit of this during this blessed month of Ramadan. And this is why we're here. We're trying to put habits inside ourselves. This is the aim of this silsila, to get good habits, so that at the end of the month, not only these habits become normal, and inshallah for the rest of the year we can continue performing these good deeds that we're doing now.
Translation.
We'll read the translation afterwards, inshallah. Will we do kalam? Inshallah. We're now going to go on to the next segment, which is obviously we're going to read a kalam, and then we're going to go on to the topic which I've mentioned already, the special blessings. So mashallah, Tawfiq Bhai is here with us, he's Nigrani Kabinat here, and he inshallah will give us a kalam today, inshallah.
To enlighten our hearts and to gain blessings in this silsila, inshallah, let us collectively recite Naat of the Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. In fact, at this moment as we speak, many ushaq, the lovers of the Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, are heading towards Madinatul Munawwara to perform the i'tikaf. Many ushaq have reached there, and they have given their name in for the i'tikaf as well. And many are on the way. Subhanallah. And let us do istighatha in the court of the Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alaihi wasallam, request and ask for our hazri as well.
MashaAllah.
Sallallahu alayka ya Rasulallah wa sallam alayka ya Habib Allah. Bula lo phir mujhe shah
بحر و بر مدینے میں پھر روتا ہوا ہوں تیرے در پر مدینے میں مدینے جانے والوں جاؤ جاؤ فی امان اللہ مدینے جانے والوں جاؤ جاؤ فی امان اللہ کبھی تو اپنا بھی لگ جائے گا بستر مدینے میں پھر روتا ہوا ہوں تیرے در پر مدینے میں نہ دولت دے نہ شربت دے مجھے بس یہ سعادت دے آقا نہ دولت دے نہ شربت دے مجھے بس یہ سعادت دے آقا نہ دولت دے نہ شہرت دے مجھے بس یہ سعادت دے تیرے قدموں میں مر جاؤں میں رو رو کر مدینے میں تیرے قدموں میں مر جاؤں میں رو رو کر مدینے میں بلا لو پھر مجھے شاہ بحر و بر مدینے میں پھر روتا ہوا ہوں تیرے در پر مدینے میں مدینہ اس لیے عطار جانو دل سے ہے پیارا مدینہ اس لیے عطار جانو دل سے ہے پیارا کہ رہتے ہیں میرے آقا میرے دل پر مدینے میں بلا لو پھر مجھے شاہ بحر و بر مدینے میں پھر روتا ہوا ہوں تیرے در پر مدینے میں.
MashaAllah, subhanallah. You know, in the kalam that Tafiba just recited, he mentioned those fortunate people that are in Madinah Sharif now, and he did a dua that, Ya Allah, call us to Madinah so that we can also go there. And at this time, like he mentioned, there are very fortunate people that are about to perform the Sunnatul Itikaf in Masjid al-Nabi or in the Haram Park in the blessed lands over there.
MashaAllah.
Now, you know, many of us are maybe not fortunate enough that we can make that journey this year. But what we can do is we can at least perform the Sunnatul Itikaf in our local masajid. And alhamdulillah, if you perform it with Dawat Islami, then inshallah it will not be just an itikaf where you're sitting behind a curtain, but there's a complete jadwal. Inshallah, during this 10 days itikaf, you can learn so much. So my humble request to each and every one of you that is listening to all the Islamic brothers that are listening, please get in touch or find out where your local Dawat Islami itikaf is. Alhamdulillah, I think there's probably about 20-25 places across the country where this is happening. please attend these itikafs for these last 10 days. Follow the sunnah of the Prophet of Allah, sallallahu, and insha'Allah, do these last 10 days in itikaf, insha'Allah, you will learn so much. We're now going to go to our daily wazaif, and these are the wazaif that we recite every day. And again, we're trying to make this habit of reciting these wazaif so we can learn them, and again we can make a good habit so we can continue to recite these wazaif after Ramadan as well.
Inshallah. Inshallah Azza wa Jal, we will now read our daily wazaif, inshallah Azza wa Jal. Before we start these, just have this thing in your mind that whenever we read a wazifa, sometimes we hear that it mentions or recite something in the morning or recite this in the evening. When we talk about wazifa, what does morning mean? What is the definition of morning? What is the definition of evening? It's important for us to be aware of this so that when we recite this we can gain its full blessings, inshallah. Whenever we say recite something in the morning, here it refers from the midnight. Midnight here, it's not 12 o'clock. Midnight means the middle between sunset and sunrise. Okay, and it changes.
So the middle of the night.
Middle of the night.
Okay.
So from that moment up to sunrise. Okay. So this period, whatever has been recited, that is called morning. Okay, so if there's any wazifa which is written to recite in the morning, you can read it anytime between the midnight up to the sunrise.
Okay.
And when it says evening, or in Urdu we say sham, here it doesn't refer after Maghrib. It means from beginning of Zuhr up to Maghrib namaz. Okay, so from Zuhr you can recite this wazifa.
Subhanallah.
And inshallah this will be regarded as you recited in the sham, in the evening.
So currently in the UK there's a big time for sham, but a very short time for the morning.
Subhanallah. So the wazifa that we will recite now, it is mentioned by reciting this 3 times in the evening and in the morning, one would die as a believer. Subhanallah. Subhanallah. And we should make a regular habit of reciting this. Inshallah, let's recite it collectively. Allahumma,
Allahumma,
inna na'udhu bika min an nushrika bika shay'an na'lamuh wa nastaghfiruka lima la na'lamuh. Allahumma, inna na'udhu bika min an nushrika bika shay'an na'lamuh wa nastaghfiruka lima la na'lamuh. Allahumma, inna na'udhu bika min an nushrika bika shay'an na'lamuh wa nastaghfiruka lima la na'lamuh. The next wazifa that we will recite, it is mentioned by reciting this 3 times in the morning and evening, one would get protection for his deen, life, wealth and the family.
Subhanallah.
So make a habit of reciting this 3 times regularly, inshallah. Bismillahi ala dini Bismillahi ala nafsi wa wuldi wa ahli wa mali. Bismillahi ala dini Bismillahi ala nafsi wa wuldi wa ahli wa mali. Bismillahi ala dini Bismillahi ala nafsi wa wuldi wa ahli wa mali. The next wazifa that we recite, it is mentioned by reciting once in the morning and in the evening. One would be saved from grief, and to pay off debt, one must recite this 11 times in the morning and in the evening. Recite it with love and affection.
Inshallah.
Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-hammi wal huzni wa a'udhu bika min al-ijzi wal kasali wa a'udhu bika min al-jubni wal bukhli wa a'udhu bika min غلبة الدين وقهر الرجال صلوا على الحبيب صلى الله تعالى على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه.
Dear Islam brothers and viewers of Madani channel, again we're trying to do this so we get a habit of reciting these daily recitals so that we can try and learn them and inshallah make a habit after the month of Ramadan as well. The Prophet of Allah sallallahu ta'ala has said that the dua is the weapon of the moment. And inshallah we're now going to recite the Shajar Sharif, and the Shajar Sharif is in the form of a dua. And the Shajar Sharif contains all those people, the golden chain of those people that links the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam right up to Amir al-Sunnat. And in each one of these couplets there's a dua. So please join in with this dua with us. And inshallah, like we said before, if you can get this booklet, the Shajar Sharif, you can download this from our website, be in Urdu or English, and it might be available in other languages as well. And in there is the Shajar Sharif that we're going to recite now. You can download it free of charge, or you can buy it from any of our Maktabat al-Madinas as well. Ji, Tawfiq inshallah, Shajar Sharif inshallah.
الصلاة والسلام عليك يا رسول الله الصلاة والسلام عليك يا حبيب الله يا إلهي رحم فرما مصطفیٰ کے واسطے یا رسول اللہ کرم کیجے خدا کے واسطے مشکلیں حل کر شہ مشکل کشا کے واسطے کربلائے رد شہید کربلا کے واسطے سید سجاد کے صدقے میں ساجد رکھ مجھے علم حق دے باقر علم ہدا کے واسطے صدق صادق کا تصدق صادق الاسلام کر بے غضب راضی ہو کاظم اور رضا کے واسطے بہر معروف و سری معروف دے بے خود سری جند حق میں گن جنے دے با صفا کے واسطے بہر شبلی شہر حق دنیا کے کتوں سے بچا ایک کا رکھ عبد واحد بے ریا کے واسطے بل فرح کا صدقہ کر غم کو فرح دے حسن سعد بل حسن اور بو سعید سعد ذا کے واسطے قادری کر قادری رکھ قادریوں میں اٹھا قادری کر قادری رکھ قادریوں میں اٹھا قدر عبد القادر قدرت نما کے واسطے احسن اللہ لہم رزقا سے دے رزق حسن بندہ رزاق تاج الاسفیاء کے واسطے نصر بھی صالح کا صدقہ صالح و منصور رکھ دے حیات دی محیی جان فضا کے واسطے طور عرفان و علو و حمد و حسنہ و بہا دے علی موسیٰ حسن احمد بہا کے واسطے بہر ابراہیم مجھ پر نار غم گلزار کر بیک دے داتا بکاری بادشاہ کے واسطے خانہ دل کو زیادے روح ایمان کو جمال شاہ ضیاء مولا جمال الاولیاء کے واسطے دے محمد کے لیے روزی کر احمد کے لیے خانہ فضل اللہ سے حصہ گدا کے واسطے دین دنیا کے مجھے برکات دے برکات سے عشق حق دے عشق عشق انتما کے واسطے حب اہل بیت دے آل محمد کے لیے کر شہید عشق حمزہ پیشوا کے واسطے دل کو اچھا تن کو ستھرا جان کو پر نور کر
اچھے پیارے شمس دی بدر العلا کے واسطے دو جہاں میں خادم آل رسول اللہ کر حضرت آل رسول مقتدی کے واسطے کر عطا احمد رضائے احمد مرسل مجھے میرے مولا حضرت احمد رضا کے واسطے پرزیا کر سب کا چہرہ حشر میں اے کبریا شاہ ضیاء الدین پیر باصفا کے واسطے احینا فی الدین والدنیا سلام بالسلام قادری عبد السلام خوش ادا کے واسطے عشق احمد میں عطا کر چشم تر سوزے جگر یا خدا الیاس کو احمد رضا کے واسطے یا خدا عطار اور احمد رضا کے واسطے صدقہ ان آیاں کا بیچے عین عز علم و عمل عفو عرفا عافیت ہم بے نوا کے واسطے الصلاة والسلام علیک یا رسول اللہ الصلاة والسلام علیک یا حبیب اللہ صلوا علی الحبیب صلی اللہ علی محمد.
My dear Islam brothers and viewers of Madani channel, you're watching the Silsila Blissfull Saher. And now we come to that segment of the day where we're going to discuss the topic of the day. And the topic that we're going to discuss today are special blessings. You know what happens, mainly a lot of us, we're not thankful to Allah Azza wa Jal with what Allah Azza wa Jal has blessed us with. And if we really sit down and try and count the blessings of Allah Azza wa Jal, then they are uncountable. And there's so many blessings that we need to really ponder about these blessings, and then inshallah we can change our mindset, change how we think about these blessings that we've got, and inshallah we can move forward. Amir Sun calls it the Madani mindset. The Madani mindset, how we should think, because unfortunately if you think about it as Muslims, many times we maybe look like a Muslim, yeah, we may eat halal, we may eat like a Muslim, right, but unfortunately we don't think like a Muslim should think. And what Amir Sun tries to do is he tries to give this Madani mindset so we can start thinking as a Muslim should think. And part of this thinking process is to recognize the blessings that Allah Azza wa Jalla has given to us and do shukr for the blessings that Allah Azza wa Jalla has given to us. There's a hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that I'd like to begin with. Ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala has reported that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said, take advantage of 5 things before 5 things happen. Take advantage of 5 things before 5 things happen. Number 1, your youth before you get old. Your youth before you get old. Because our youth is a blessing, and you hear that so many people say to you that whilst you are young, you can do a lot of ibadah, you can do a lot of things. I remember my blessed father, he said to me that when he went on the Hajj and he came back, he said to me, son, go and perform the Hajj as soon as possible. He says, I'm old now, if I'd have known it was this hard, I would have done it as soon as possible. So the ibadat and all these things that you can do a lot more when you're young. When you get older, it becomes harder. The second that we are told about here is that your health, take care of your health take advantage of your health before you get ill. As you get older, illnesses start to come to you. People get sugar illnesses, people get cholesterol, people get heart problems and all these things. And again, this health, because of the health that's affecting you, you're spending so much time going to the doctors, all these appointments, and as a result of that, you cannot do the ibadah that you could have done before. Third thing, take care of your riches before you are poor. Allah Azza wa Jalla, if Allah Azza wa Jalla has blessed you with the money, and remember this, we must remember this, that Allah Azza wa Jalla has blessed you with money. There may be people here that are listening to this program and say, well, I work hard for this money. Yeah, I work 12 hours a day. Or there may be people saying that, well, I went to a university, I did a degree, I did a 4-year degree, I studied really hard to get all this money. My question to each and every one of you is, who gave you the strength? Who gave you the strength to do the 8-hour, 12-hour shift? Who gave you the intellect to be able to do that 4-year, 5-year degree? Allah Azza wa Jalla has given all this. So this is all a blessing from Allah Azza wa Jalla. And because of this blessing, then we earn money. And with this money that we get, how do we use this money? And a time may come where you may not be able to work as hard as you could before. And your income will go down, maybe you're not as wealthy as you were. So when you have that wealth, you need to take advantage of that as wealth as well. And you'll be questioned on the Day of Judgment, what did you do with that health? The fourth thing, your free time before your work. As you get older, you have more and more responsibilities. You become a father, you become a father of children, you become a husband, and all these things, and more responsibilities come. So you have less and less time. Whilst you have this time, whilst you have time that you can use, then use it properly. Because on the Day of Judgment, you'll be questioned about that time. And that time, again, is a blessing as well. And the fifth thing, and the final thing that is mentioned in this beautiful hadith, the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, take advantage of your life.
Allah.
Take advantage of your life before you die. Yeah? We only live here once. We're only here for one period of time, one unit of time, and that unit is different for everybody. For some people that unit is 30 years, for some people that unit is 20 years, for some people that unit is 80 years. Nobody knows what that unit is. But that one unit of time that we are here for, do we take advantage of? This is the blessings of Allah Azza wa Jal that we need to recognize. Tawfiq Bhai.
Khalid Bhai, if you look at your life and the bounties and the favors of Allah Ta'ala that we have, every blessing is a big blessing.
Allahu Akbar.
Every blessing is a special blessing. It's very difficult to differentiate that this is a small blessing or this is a huge blessing and this is a special blessing.
As the person who doesn't have that, what we consider small.
And every blessing is unique. It's a mercy of Allah Ta'ala. One blessing that I want to highlight today. Today in UK, it's 20th of Ramadan. Ashray Maghfirat, the 10 days of forgiveness, have gone really fast. And now is the last day. And if you look at this as a blessing, Allah Ta'ala has given us a huge favor by blessing us the Ashray Maghfirat, the 10 days of forgiveness, so that in these 10 days we can beg in the court of Allah Ta'ala, repent from our sins, and we please Allah Ta'ala. We ask Allah for forgiveness. Indeed, Allah Azza wa Jalla is the most merciful, most forgiving. But if we look at these last 10 days, the way we spent, we can't even say that we've spent even few moments in such a way the way we should have spent. The reality is, we've spent these moments in heedlessness. And the 10 days of forgiveness have gone really fast and they're about to depart from us. We don't know. We have no surety that our Rabb has forgiven us or not. And one thing we do know, that we haven't put any effort in. We haven't put any effort in to ask Allah for forgiveness the way it should have been done. We don't know. And once these final moments have departed from us, then these will not return again. These moments have gone. Next year, people will be excited that Ramadan has come, then this Ashray Maghfirat will appear. People will be excited, will make dua. But we have no surety of life. We don't know, we're going to live that long enough. I as an individual know some people who have just passed away before Ramadan. Yeah, you will know as well. Many family members, relatives, neighborhood, you find people passing away just before Ramadan. Yeah. And then, even if we live up to Ramadan, we have no surety that we will be healthy enough. We don't know about the future. We only got one day left now. Let's make most of this. Let's make tawbah, ask Allah for forgiveness. And this is a huge blessing of Allah Ta'ala, that He has given us the Ashray Maghfirat. There's a beautiful dua that we should implore, we should recite this on a regular basis in these 10 days. And if we have not made this habit, let's make this habit from now on. What a beautiful dua. Allahumma innaka afuwun kareem tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anni. Ya Allah, you are the one who forgives. You love forgiving. Ya Allah, forgive me.
Ameen.
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 Ya Allah, you are the most forgiving. Ya Allah, you love forgiving. Ya Allah, forgive us all.
Ameen. Ameen.
Allahu Akbar.
Khalid bhai,
Allahu Akbar.
This is also a blessing. Having this Madani mindset to realize the value of time and realize that Ramazan is going. and to have that dard for this, to feel ashamed that I feel I haven't done enough. Even this, is a blessing from Allah Azza wa Jalla. A lot of people, they don't have this. The countdown for them is the other way around.
Yes.
That there's this much days left for Eid.
Yes.
And this is, when somebody's Madanified, when somebody has this Madani mindset, then alhamdulillah, this is the outcome of this.
That's a new term I've heard, that Madanified.
This is what happens then. And what I was going to say, one of the biggest blessings, if not the biggest blessing what Allah Azza wa Jalla has bestowed upon us, is blessing us with Iman. Made us a Muslim and made us followers of Imam al-Anbiya, the greatest Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. And the ulama say that those who don't worry about their Iman, there's a high chance they will lose their Iman at the time of death. And for every blessings like you mentioned, we should do shukr of this. And Allah Azza wa Jalla says in the Holy Quran that if you are grateful, I will give you more. If you are grateful, I will give you more. So when we thank Allah Azza wa Jalla for giving us Iman, inshallah, this will not only help us protect our Iman, but it will increase our Iman as well. And I'll give you a few Madani flowers of how we can strengthen our Iman. One of the ways is by reciting durood on the Holy Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam. As we mentioned, a person who recites durood on the Holy Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, he receives the glad tidings of paradise before he passes away. And in another narration it says that somebody who recites 1,000 times durood sharif a day, he will not die until he sees his place in paradise. So this is obviously, we can take it that if you're seeing those people are going to be in paradise, and one of the conditions for this is having your Iman. So we can think like this as well. Another thing is, the Holy Prophet ﷺ says that before you go to sleep, recite Surah Al-Kafirun, Qul Ya Ayyuhal Kafirun. And the benefits of this, the Holy Prophet ﷺ says that reciting Surah Al-Kafirun and then go to sleep, for this is a clearance from shirk. And if recited on treasure, that treasure remains safe. And if a person has many creditors, reciting of this surah will help clear his debt. And if recited by a person in fear, this surah brings him to safety. And if recited by a hungry person, it helps him find sustenance. And if recited by a thirsty person, his thirst will be quenched. And the last Madani flower about this, use the miswak regularly. We think that it's just a apparent piece of wood, but this is a tool we use to follow the sunnah of the Holy Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam. And many mushaykh, they relate that their experiences that it helps in reminding people of the kalima at the time of their death.
But I think, Wasim bhai, that you mentioned that, the gift of Iman.
Yeah.
Right? So a lot of us people don't realize the value of Iman to people, because the majority of people that are here, that are watching this program, the majority of those people that are watching it were born into the fold of Islam. And because they were born into it, they don't value it as much. They don't realize how lucky they are. And like you said, they don't realize the blessing. And if you go back to the time of the Sahaba Karam Tawfiq, and you talk about them and you realize how they sacrificed their lives, the sacrifices that they went through, what did they do these sacrifices for? For the Iman.
To understand the value of Iman, the scholars say that if you look at it as a general human being, when a human being is born, he is born a Muslim by nature. And then depending on his upbringing, his form changes. Okay? So if he had Muslim parents, then he will live his life as a Muslim. And the lucky ones will die as a Muslim as well. And then there are some people who are born Muslim, they live their life as a non-Muslim, depending on their parents' belief, and they die without Iman. And there are some people who are born Muslim and they live their life according to their religion of parents in the form of disbelief, and then they, at the time of death, before dying, Allah Azza wa Jal opens the doors for them and they accept Iman, and they die in the state of Iman. And there are those people as well who are born Muslim, they live their life as a Muslim, but when the time of death comes, some of their actions or some of the words that they utter, that takes them out of fold of Islam, and they die in the state of disbelief.
So people, that's because what people need to realize, a lot of people don't realize this, is this, because they think, I perform my Hajj, I read my namaz 5 times a day, I do all these things, so I'm guaranteed paradise. And nobody's guaranteed, because Shaitan, if he's going to go after that person right till the end, he's not going to leave, he doesn't want to lose anybody, He doesn't want to, lose a potential customer, so to speak. So he's going to be on your case right to the end, and right to that moment, right to that end, critical moment, And that's why, Tawfiq, but they say that when somebody is passing away, don't tell them to recite the Kalama Sharif. You recite it for them because they're in pain, they're in agony. We've talked about the pains of death. At that time, they say that a person will come to you in the form of your father, and say to you that, I made a mistake, Someone will come to you in the form of your mother, shaitan will come in, and they'll try and take your iman away from you at that time. And they say that at that time, because of the pain, you can't think, And just to give you a dunyawi example, that and I've said it before, that if you have a toothache or something, then when you don't go to work.
No.
Because that pain in your tooth stops you from working, That pain is causing you that you can't think properly. Just think, if that pain of your tooth can cause you not to put in a day's work in the office because it affects your brain, the pain of death, Allah, how are you going to be able to decipher what is right and wrong? How are you going to be able to work out what is right and wrong at that time? You're in agony. And you got shaitan coming to you saying to you, look, you're on the wrong path. Right? This is your last chance. This is your last chance to sort yourself out. This is your last chance to denounce Islam. This is your last chance to follow this religion or your last chance to follow that religion. And he's going to be there. And how firm is your iman? And the ulama ikram have stated,
the scholars have said that the actions depend upon the endings. In the way the state of a person, how he'll pass away, that is very crucial. So if that person died with iman, if he had a good death, and inshallah in the future, in the hereafter, there'll be many blessings and favors upon him. But if that person had a bad ending, in his whole life, he lived his life in piety, like you mentioned, performed Hajj, he was punctual in his prayer, he used to recite the Quran Pak, he used to wake up in the nights, pray Tahajjud, he did whatever he could, he lived a life of piety. But if the ending were wrong, then that's it.
But then, why can the ending go wrong? Why can the ending go wrong? Well, you've lived a life of piety, you've been a good person. Amir al-Sunnat in a booklet called Causes of Bad End, he copies from a book called Sharh Sudur. He said that there are 4 potential causes. And there are many other causes that Amir al-Sunnat mentions in this book. And he mentions 4 potential causes that because of these, you run the risk of losing your iman at that critical moment. Number 1 is laziness in offering salah. Laziness in offering salah. Now it doesn't say here missing your salah. Laziness in offering your salah. And how many of us, when it's time for Zohr, we leave it right to the end so that we can do Zohr and Asr together, or we just quickly do it, we rush the salah and everything. And that is a way of causing one cause of laziness in salah. Another one, and I pray to Allah Azza wa Jalla that the Muslims here are not afflicted by this, but unfortunately, sad to say that some of our Muslims are afflicted by this, by consuming alcohol. Consuming alcohol is such a sin that, everybody that is part of the whole process. There's a hadith Pak, and I can't remember it, but the whole process of the distribution, the manufacturer, who carries it, who's made it from, I'm not going to quote the hadith, but basically the whole process of it. And a lot of people, especially in this country, they feel that maybe we know that it's haram to drink it, but we're just selling it. But it's haram to sell it as well. So consuming alcohol, yes, mashallah, we just had a brother here that said to me that there's a booklet of Amir al-Sunnat that mentions the mother of all evils, and it talks about the illness of alcohol, and in the hadith that I mentioned is recited in that book as well, please. The next third thing, which again we've been touching on quite a lot in the previous silsila, is disobedience to parents. You may read your namaz 5 times a day, you may perform the Hajj every year, you may do all these things, but if you're disobedient to your parents, then at that critical time in your life, you run the risk of losing your iman. And fourth, another one that we don't really care about, because we've got this culture here that I'm alright, I don't care about, I'm alright, Jack attitude. If you cause harm to a Muslim, if I cause harm to a fellow Muslim, be it small or large, then I run the risk of losing my iman. And sometimes we think that, I'm alright, I've done one, I've sorted him out, we did a deal with Wasim Bhai, I did a clever one, I got away with that one, But I might have got away with it now. I might have been clever with Wasim by now. I might have done a deal with him that he's lost out, but he's not even realised it. But on the day of judgment, it will be opened up. Why did you harm this Muslim? Why did you cause a problem for this Muslim? Why did you fiddle this Muslim?
With that Khalid Bhai, we have this attitude that, it doesn't matter how we treat other people, but we want everybody to treat us nicely. So it's like a one-way street. And we need to get out of this, and is what you want for yourself, you want for your Muslim brother. Who doesn't want to be liked? Everybody wants to be liked. Why would you want to have any enemies? You should always be nice, you should always be kind, And whenever you see Muslims, like we said, we should start by giving them salam and create love between the Muslims, and be that person that people want to be in your company. Be that person who people talk about you, that when you leave this dunya, that they say good things for you. And like we mentioned the other day about Isale Swab and Sadqa Jariyah, and make it like this. So this is how, as a Muslim, we should live our life, that we should have any enemies, and we should be in that state that when we came in this dunya, we were crying and everybody was laughing.
Allah.
When we leave this dunya, be it that everybody is crying and we are laughing in our graves, smiling in our graves.
Khadba, you mentioned these narrations, the causes of bad death.
Yeah.
So while listening to them, this thought comes to our mind that it's very important to remember death,
Allah.
to be aware of these causes so that we can avoid them. The scholars have said that a person who doesn't fear of losing his iman,
Allahu Akbar,
that person is in more danger of losing his iman at the time of death.
Allahu Akbar.
And on this, the scholars also mention that one of the ways of safeguarding a person's iman is by continuing the righteous deeds. Keep himself busy in good actions, such as namaz, other form of worships. And another form of safeguarding one's iman is by giving your own hand in the hand of a spiritual guide, a kamil, a pious spiritual guide, a kamil sheikh. Give your hand in his hand, and inshallah, due to the blessing of this, inshallah, a person will be able to take his iman with him.
So you mentioned the fact about having a good character with people and not harming our fellow Muslims. There's a hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that when somebody passed away, a person passed away, and as the janazah was going, people started to speak ill of that person. That he was a bad person, and he caused grief to us all. And the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that when somebody passes away, if people speak ill about that person, then Jahannam is wajib upon that person.
Allah.
Now if another person passes away and people speak good about that person and say, he was a really good person, we missed that brother, he was really good in the community, he was really kind, he was really helpful. The Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that if a person passes away and people speak good about that person, then Jannat is wajib upon that person.
Subhanallah.
So as a Muslim, obviously this is our aim. So these are the, if we might be very pious in our houses, we might read our namaz 5 times a day, we might perform the hajj and everything, but if we're causing grief to our neighbours, if we're causing grief to our fellow Muslims and the people in the community, and we think that, I'm in my little circle, I'm in my little bubble of ibadat, as me and my Rabb, but everybody else, they can do one basically, I'm alright. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that, and you can run the risk of losing your iman. And like the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if you are a person, and I remember somebody once said that, you should live your life in such a way that when you leave that community, people miss you. If you want to judge somebody, if you want to judge how good that person is, what is the character of that person, when he leaves that community, right? If you move away from one town to another, you move away from one country to another, people miss you. Otherwise, rather than the other way, the shukr ki dayar chala gaya. He's gone. He's gone. We got ease and no more headache.
Khalba, we're talking about the special blessings of Allah Ta'ala.
Allahu Akbar.
One of the special blessings that comes to my mind is fast approaching. It's arriving very quickly. That is the 10 days of Sunnat Itikaf. Subhanallah. Many, if I say thousands of Muslims around the world, they will be performing Sunnah Itikaf in their local masjid, and many sisters, they will be performing Itikaf at homes as well. And if you look at this, the blessing of Itikaf is unique, it's amazing. There's 2 main objectives that come to my mind regarding Itikaf. Number 1, a person, he enters the masjid and he sits inside with the mindset that I'm in the court of Allah Ta'ala, I'm not getting up from here until my Rabb forgives me. And he has this feeling that my Rabb will forgive me now. He will have that feeling in his heart. Now he's going to forgive me, now he's going to forgive me. And he's waiting for that moment to hear that reply from somewhere. Like, your Rabb is happy with you. And during these 10 days, this person, he keeps himself busy. He devotes himself in various forms of worship. Being in the masjid, with the niyat of itikaf, this itself is a ibadat. And then he spends time with reading, other than the first namaz, extra nawafil, then he recites Quran Pak, and he learns ilm deen and various other forms.
He's in Roza as well, he's waiting for namaz, like in namaz, all these.
And then this itself is a huge blessing. Not everyone gets this opportunity. Many people, they want to perform itikaf, but the circumstances don't help them. Whatever they're doing in their life.
I think a lot of people think that they can't do it. Somebody just sent me a message here, and he said that, I work for a big company, and that sells alcohol. I have no other choice of a job. Now, I don't want to be stern with you, my dear Islam, but that you do have a choice. Yeah? In this dunya, you do have a choice. Especially in this country, where if you have no job, you can still survive. Right? So I'd rather survive on minimal amount than survive on a lot amount and run the risk of losing my iman.
There's one Alim-e-Deen, they mentioned once that if a person wants to, he'll find a way. If he wants to pray, he'll find a way.
The other thing, if you submit yourself to the will of Allah Azza wa Jal, Allah will make that way easy for you. Yeah? I remember many years ago when I left my job and I was going into contracting, self-employed, and basically there was job offers coming from different companies, and the first job that I got offered was to write the software and the whole of this huge brewery. Yeah? And a brewery, for those people that don't understand, is basically a factory where alcohol is made. And the contract was huge, and it was my first job. I needed a job, right? But I thought, you know what? Forget it. If my Rabb is going to give me something, he'll give me something halal. Why do I have to get it that way? Yeah? And for about 3 or 4 weeks, I didn't have a job. But Allah Azza wa Jal provided me.
MashaAllah.
Allah, and I'm still here. I'm still alive.
You can't get this waswasa in England. When you're in other countries where you think if you don't have a job, you're going to starve to death, and how your children are going to eat. We don't have this waswasa.
We shouldn't have that in this country, no.
And we don't. In this country, quite easily you can survive if you work 4 or 5 days. There's people who work in this country. They have a house, they have children. They'll be on minimum wage. They're not begging on the streets.
That's a beautiful concept. That the morsel, the bite that has been written for you, no one else has any position or authority to snatch away from your mouth. It's written for you, and it's going to get to you,
no matter what.
But this again, again is the mindset, the Madani mindset. The problem is our Madani mindset, our mindset that we currently got is that we think that morsel isn't written for us, so we're going to strive for that. But what isn't in our destiny is our iman, and this is what we have to work for. We have to work for that. Allah Azza wa Jal rizq likhliya, He's got that for us, and it's our iman that we need to be critical for. And I just want to give you one waqiyah before we carry on. It is stated in the book Munajaats al-Abidin that Sayyidina Fudayl bin Iyad rahmatullahi ta'ala once visited one of his students, and he was a big scholar. He once visited one of his students. He was on his deathbed. Sitting beside the student, he began to recite Surah Yasin. But the student said, "Stop reciting the Surah Yasin."
Allah.
Sayyidina Fudayl bin Iyad rahmatullahi ta'ala, then he made taqleen, he reminded him to recite the Kalma Sharif. But he replied, "I will never recite this Kalma. I have nothing to do with it." Na'uzubillah. Saying these words, he died. Obviously the teacher, he was very sad. Extremely saddened by the bad end of his student, Sayyidina Fudayl bin Iyad rahmatullahi ta'ala, he worked for 40 days in his house. After the 40th day, he had a dream in which he saw the same student being dragged into the hellfire by the angels. He said, "Why were you deprived of your mystical knowledge? You had a very high status amongst our students. You were one of my best students. You were one of my best students. Why at the time, that critical time, did you lose your iman?" Yeah? And the student replied, "It was because of 3 bad habits. Number 1 was telling tales. I used to tell one thing to my friends, but something else to you. The second was jealousy. I was jealous of my friends. I was jealous of what they were achieving. And the third was drinking alcohol. On the advice of a doctor, I used to drink 1 glass of alcohol every year to be cured from a disease. Just 1 glass of alcohol to be cured from a disease. So because of these 3 acts, telling tales, chugli, being jealous, hasad, and drinking 1 glass of alcohol a year, this student said,
we learned that sinning is so disastrous that it can affect the person's iman at the time of death.
Tawfiq, by one of the blessings, we're talking about special blessings of Allah Azza wa Jal. One of the blessings, I could think of in this moment of time is, our eyes. You're talking about sinning as well. That is an international problem. I won't be wrong if I say that, we struggle to control our eyes. And, if I give you a worldly example, that if I lend you my car, Tawfiq Bhai, and I say, "Look, this is my car, you need to borrow this car." You can drive my car, and you go around the corner, and you you're not looking after my car. You what they call handbrake turns, and you're doing wheel spins, and you're abusing something what doesn't belong to you. So somebody's made this film and give it to me. Wasim bhai, I'm sure this is your car. Look how Tawfiq bhai is treating your car. Minimum, the least to least, what I would do, I would call you and say, Tawfiq bhai, can you drop my car back off to me? Minimum, I wouldn't let you have it. Without a direct comparison, we've been blessed with these eyes from Allah Azza wa Jal. And how do we use our eyes? If we ask ourselves, and if we do our muhasabah and realize that, how do we use these eyes? If it was ordered by Allah Azza wa Jal, that these eyes are from me, you use them, it's a ni'mat from me. The moment you misuse them, I'm going to take these eyes back off you. Who in this dunya, apart from a few, would be able to see?
Allah.
It isn't, you can't think of this. And it says in the Holy Quran that, and if you would count the favors of Allah, never could you be able to count them. Truly Allah is forgiving and most merciful. Allah. And this is something, look, we've got this eyesight, and we need to control our eyes. And if you look at those people who are blind, imagine somebody's born blind. How could you explain the color green to that person? If somebody's born blind, how would you be able to explain to him? He'll only know texture, and you won't be able to explain a lot of things to that person. Now imagine someone wasn't blind, he got married, he had children, and because of some illness, diabetes is quite strongly linked with weak eyesight as well. So if somebody loses the eyesight later in life, when they're young children, they're still going to say, Abuji, what do you think of my new Eid clothes? How would that father feel, Khalid Bhai, who he can't even see his children, he can't see his daughter, and we take this for granted, and look how much we are abusing this blessing from Allah Azza wa Jal. Something worth thinking about.
This reminds me of one of the bayan of Nigran Shura, the head of top management of Dawud Islami, once mentioning the importance of controlling the eyes. He says that if a person leaves the eyes to float, yes, for example, you're on a bus, you go into your workplace, and you're letting the eyes float here and there, they just go in there, you're not controlling them, it's obvious that it's going to go to where it shouldn't be going to. Yeah. So it's very important to control the eyes, to lower them eyes, and to keep them busy, and in where they shouldn't be going. Yeah, it's very important.
I think, especially, that Nigran Shura was probably talking about, somewhere in Pakistan, in the Indian subcontinent. But I think more so in this country, because here we don't have much of a summer, but when we do have a summer, then it's very, very hard, to control the eyesight. And so basically, as the heat goes up, that is the time where we need to control our eyes even more in this country. And I think a lot of people I know that, to be honest, during the summer they very rarely go out shopping, they very rarely go out, they do the minimum thing that they need to do, because they want to protect their eyesight. But the same thing that you mentioned with regards to the eyes, that could be that analogy, that thought pattern, that Madani mindset could be with any one of our ni'mats. Be it our eyes, be it our tongue, be our ears, be our smell, be our taste, the five senses, be it our hands that we can pick up things. And yesterday we mentioned the thumb. Yeah, our arms, our legs, our feet, our strength. They say that inside the human body, there's 600 chemicals inside the human body. Now, if one of them chemicals goes out of balance, then we're ill. So our health, is such a blessing that just think of trying to, I write software for control plants. Imagine the beautiful control that Allah Azza wa Jalla has inside us, and one of these things goes out of sync. One chemical goes up, or one chemical goes down, and we can be ill, and we can lose all sorts of things. And you mentioned like sugar, and you mentioned these sort of things. As a result of diabetes, you can lose your eyesight. I know people as a result of diabetes that they've lost their legs, and all these things. So every single thing that we have is a blessing. And we go back to that hadith at the beginning where we said that, take care of your health before you lose it. And we need to realize that this is a blessing from Allah Azza wa Jalla. Allah has blessed us with all these things, but unfortunately, these blessings that we have, what do we do with our eyes? Where do we look with our eyes? With our tongues, what do we speak? Na'udhu billah, we see that people, speaking kufr with this tongue. What do our ears hear? What do we have? And I'm questioning to the brothers that are watching now, what do we listen to in our cars when we are traveling? What do you actually have on? And if alhamdulillah, you have a Naats Sharif on, you have a bayan on, you have talawat on the marhaba. But unfortunately, you see many people in the car, they have all sorts of things on that without a doubt, are leading them towards a life of sin. Same in our homes, what are we watching? Are we always watching Madani channel? What are we using our eyes for? You know, it's so easy that people are flicking this channel and going over and over and over. You know, I see some houses, what they do is, they put it on Madani channel 828 and then they hide the remote.
MashaAllah.
Right, but fix the AC channel, they can't go anywhere else.
Even one thing you could do better than that is you could have just Madani channel on, and you can lock it so no other channel works anyway.
Some people do that, but again, this is we're controlling the eyes, then we've got the ears, what do we listen to, with the tongues, what do we do? You know, and then our hands and our feet. These are the things that take us towards sin. You know, where do our feet take us towards? Are our feet taking us towards the masjid for our 5 daily prayers, or are our feet taking us somewhere else? You know, with our hands we earn our livelihood. With our hands, are we earning halal livelihood, or are we earning a haram livelihood? Like you said, rizq to likha hai. Yeah, rizq to likha hai. But then are we earning that money in a halal means? And then when we've earned that money, kash that we've earned that in halal means, do we spend it in a halal way?
Khalid bhai, you know, we're talking about the blessings of Allah Ta'ala, and there are so many.
We can carry on all day.
The reality is that, you know, we can't talk about all of them. We can't even count them. Yeah, but there's another angle to look at it, that the blessings that we have from Allah Ta'ala, you know, how do we know how long will we have these?
Allah.
Like health
and if they are with us, how are we thanking Allah for them? Yeah. How am I thanking my Rabb for the blessing of my hands? Yeah. How am I thanking my Rabb for the blessing of the eyes that He's given me to?
Allahu Akbar.
How am I thanking my Creator, my Rabb, my Allah, the tongue that He has given me? How am I thanking the blessings that He has given me? And it's something that we should think about, we should reflect upon this. And the scholars say that one of the ways of thanking Allah Ta'ala and doing shukr, paying gratitude in the court of Allah Azza wa Jal, is by using these organs or these blessings in good way.
Subhanallah.
Yeah? In the way, in the pious way. For example, the hands, use these hands to help someone, to do sadaqah,
MashaAllah.
to do charity. Yeah? Use the eyes to recite the glorious Quran.
Ziyarat of
to do ziyarat of the pious people, the scholars, the ziyarat of your parents.
MashaAllah. And look at them with mercy, and you get the swab of accepted Hajj. We were talking about that.
Use the tongue in such a sweet way that it doesn't break hearts but enjoins hearts.
MashaAllah.
And it spreads love. And these are the ways of thanking Allah Azza wa Jal for the blessings.
Do tilawat, neki ki dawat.
And also, scholars also mention when they talk about the topic of shukr, they say that it's very important to ask Allah Azza wa Jal so that we don't be deprived of His blessings. We should fear for this. Whatever zimadari, responsibility or authority that we have, the position that we have, this can be lost. Whatever blessing that we have, this can be taken away from us. And we should fear that what if this is taken away from us?
What would happen?
Yeah, what would happen? You know, and we should ask Allah to, you know, protect from zawal nemat, okay, from declining of the nemat.
MashaAllah.
I was at when I used to go to college in this country, and I had a friend there, and he was a strong lad, and his father used to sell milk, and you know the crates of milk.
I do, yeah.
He used to be able to lift up 3 crates of milk. He was that strong, you know, mashallah, good strong lad. And one day he came into the college and he's like shaking a little bit. Yeah. So we joked with him. Yeah. We said, brother, you're not taking alcohol, are you? And he said, Na'uz billah khalid. What are you saying? Yeah, you know, tawbah, I'm not taking alcohol. And he says, I'm just a bit tired. I said, okay. Next day when he came into college, same again. And I said, what's happening with you? He said, I don't know. I'm just feeling a bit shaky. And I said, you want to go to the doctors? So he said, will you come with me? I said, yes. So we went to the doctors. And the doctors sent us straight away to the hospital. They sent us straight away to the hospital and they took a bit of fluid out to his spine. Right? And they came out and they said to us, after they did the test, and they said, I'm sorry to say, but you've got this illness called multiple sclerosis. And we didn't even know what it was. I mean, I didn't know what it was. So I said to him, okay, what's going to happen? He says, well, he hasn't got control of this. And so he got a bit upset and he said, look, I want to go home. I want to finish my studies, I'm going to go home. So he went home. He lives in the Midlands. And I used to go and visit him on a regular basis. And I've not visited him for about a year, and I thought, I'll go down. And I've heard that he's that unwell now. Right? No, before that, he sent me, his father took him on the Umrah. He took him on the Umrah and he was struggling to walk. Yeah? He was shaking and he was struggling to walk. And he sent me a postcard from that. And I still got that postcard. And on that postcard he said, Brother Khalid, you know, here's me worrying about the fact that I can't walk. Here there's people that are crawling around the Kaaba. Yeah, I'm shaking as I walk around, but there's people here that are crawling. I'm lucky.
Yeah.
And he realized that even in that state he was happy. So then about a year later I went to see him, and his father said to me, he's in the bed now, he's almost bedridden. So I thought, okay, if he's bedridden, then what I'll do is I'll get some books for him. You know, so he's in the bed, he can read. So I went there to see him. And he could only move one hand.
Oh,
and I met her there, and I sat with him, and I was talking with him, and I said, you know, brother, I brought some books for you, I brought some that you can read. And his body was shaking, and he said, come closer to me. And I went closer to me. And he said, look at my eyes. And I went close to his eyes, and his pupils were shaking.
Allah.
His pupils were shaking. He said, Khalid bhai, I know it's you, but I cannot recognize you. I just know it's you. I cannot read anything now. And I sat with him for a while, and my father came with me as well. And we came back, and we left there, and we coming up the motorway, we stopped at one of the service stations on the motorway. And I remember going into the service station, and I put my hand up to open the door. And I just stopped there. And I was looking at my hand. And my father said, Kya hua beta? Baji dekho, I can open this door. My friend can't do that. My friend can't open the door. You know, how lucky am I that I can open this door? We don't realize how lucky we are. You know, everything's taken for granted, and especially at that young age. And we were young, yeah. So he was that kind of an age. Now in the university, he used to have arm wrestles, and he was strong, and he was healthy, and he was fit. He was a cricketer, he was a footballer. He was, you know, well into his fitness. But when an illness comes, it comes overnight. Yeah. So no matter how strong you are, no matter how healthy you are, no matter how wealthy you are, these blessings that you've been got, they can be taken away from you. And I can never forget seeing him, you know, in that state. And I try and go and see him on a regular basis, but every time I see him, I think, you know, look, you know, he's here, that could be me. That could be any of us,
quite easily.
You know, we were in the same place.
Yeah.
In university, we were like 10 yards apart, but the illness decided to come to him, not to me. You know, how much more can I thank Allah Azza wa Jal? You know, we don't realize how lucky we are. And like you say, because maybe we're young, because we're healthy, because we feel independent, in this dunya now everybody feels independent. They think we don't need anybody, yeah? I don't need anybody, I got it, I've got my money, I've got my health, I've got my strength, I go to the gym every day, I can lift the weights, I can push the weights, I don't need anybody. But if something's going to come to you, and it comes to you, then you realize. And then it's too late. And that's why we go back to the hadith at the beginning, take care of your health before you lose it, before you get illness, because that illness can come at any time.
Allah, well, from here we learn that it's important to keep making this dua in the court of Allah Ta'ala. Ya Allah, keep us protected from the decline of blessings.
Allahu Akbar.
Ya Allah, increase your blessings upon us.
Wherever we look, whichever corner we go, like you said, every blessing is a blessing. What is a special blessing? You know, there's so many, you know, uncountable blessings. And even your home, this is a blessing. And there's people outside there who they don't have a window, they don't have a door, they don't have a roof. So even this is a blessing. And you know, as fathers, you know, our child, he might, you know, disobey us, and especially when our children reach that age of teen years. And you know, some children, the father goes to the extent where he kicks them out. You're not allowed in my house. Why? Because you know, you disobey me. You know, I tell you be home at this time, and you don't be home at this time. Other than example, when you rent a house to somebody, and there's a lot of complaints, the person pays the rent, but there's many complaints that music is getting played loud, and the council are complaining. And what do? We kick them out. Why? Because they're living in our house and they're not abiding by our rules.
Allahu Akbar.
What should we think? Whose land are we living on? You know, we don't pay rent. Allah Azza wa Jal has put us on this dunya. You know, we disobey Allah Azza wa Jal. You know, it wouldn't be wrong to say day in, day out. You know, Allah Azza wa Jal hasn't taken us off this dunya and put us on the moon or something, has He? So, you know, this is also a blessing and mercy of Allah Azza wa Jal, that after committing all these sins, you know, our water is still sweet and our food is not bitter. Because if we got our food according to our actions, every single day, no doubt, our drink would be salty, our food would be bitter. Now, if this is not the mercy of Allah Azza wa Jal, if this is not a blessing of Allah Azza wa Jal, then I don't know what is.
Our dear Islamic brothers and viewers of Madani channel, where time once again is against us. We start these topics and we think we've got plenty of time, but unfortunately, time goes against us. We've only got 15 minutes left, and
the other phone.
The other phone. Okay, mashallah. Time is against us. No, there's no messages on here, Madani. Go message me.
This is the top of the book. This is the top of the book.
Achha, sorry. So, my dear Islam brothers and viewers and Madani, you're watching the Silsila of Blissfull Saher. Again, time is against us, and we've kind of started this topic, but you know, it's a sort of topic that we could probably go on for a lot longer, and maybe we should request the majlis.
Because we're talking about the family life.
Okay.
There's another angle to it when we look at the blessings. Some people have a habit of complaining.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have this. And for example, you know, if someone had an accident and he chopped his finger, and he'll complain, Ya Allah, why have you taken this off me? And the ulama, in particular the Shaykh Tariqat Amir al-Sunnat, says that whenever a person loses something, and has a calamity or an issue in his life, he should always look at a bigger problem that could have come and it didn't come to him, and he should thank Allah. Find an excuse to thank Allah.
Could have been your full hand, or could have gone, but it was my finger instead.
It was just a finger. And if someone had an accident, he chopped the whole hand off, and he should feel that Alhamdulillah, I've got the other hand.
You know, you could still walk. And there's people who have to type.
Like I said, my friend that can't do anything. My dear Islam brothers and viewers of Madani channel, again, time is against us. It's such a topic, and I think maybe in future we'll ask the majlis that if we can have an extra length on this topic in this silsila so we can cover more. Time is always against us. Now we need to go on to our next segment. And Tawfiq Bhai has already said that this segment's a little bit longer than normal, so we'll give Tawfiq Bhai his time and we'll take it from there. So what Quranic story have you got for us today, my dear brother?
Today, inshallah, we will hear about the windstorm of the people of Ad, the Qawm of Ad. And obviously, every story of the Quran Pak is unique, and there are so many lessons for us to take away. The people of Ad, these people, they lived in a place called Ahqaf, which is a vast desert place in between Oman and Hadramaut. And their tribe is known from the name of their ancestors, whose name was Ad. And in fact, the full lineage is known as Ad bin Aus bin Arum bin Sam bin Nuh. And these, since then, they were known as the people of Ad. And the people started calling this name, you know, because of their lineage. They were known as Ad. And these people, you know, generally, they were idol worshippers, and they were very vicious and sinful people. They were very proud of whatever they were used to do. And Allah Azza wa Jal, our Creator, He sent Sayyiduna Hud alayhi salam as a prophet to guide these people. But these people, they were so stubborn, they refuted him due to their arrogance and viciousness, and remained stuck with their disbelief. Sayyidina Hud alayhi salam repeatedly, gave them the message of truth and told them about the divine torment and punishments. But these cruel people, they said to the Prophet alayhi salam with very disrespectful tone, they said, which is mentioned in the glorious Quran, the translation from Kanzul Iman, have you come to us in order that we worship only Allah and abandon those whom our forefather worshipped? So bring upon us what you have been promising us, if you are truthful. In short, they were so stubborn. They didn't want to take anything from the message or the truth from Sayyidina Hud alayhi salam. And a time came, there was a huge windstorm that took place for 7 nights and 8 days, and killed each and every individual of the people of Ad. Allah. Not even a single child of these people could survive. When the storm ended, the corpse, the dead bodies of the people of Ad were lying all over the ground, like the date palm trees fell uprooted. And regarding this, Allah Azza wa Jal has mentioned the glorious Quran, the translation from the magnificent Kanzul Iman. And as for Ad, they were destroyed by a severe thundering windstorm. He forced it upon them with strength, consistently for 7 nights and 8 days. So you may see those people therein prostrate, as if they were trunks of date palms fallen down. So do you see any survivor among them? The scholars have said that these people, when this punishment came to them, none of them was alive. Not even their graves, they remained there. They were gone as well, they vanished. The storm took it. That's how, the whole generation or the whole nation was disappeared, they were wiped out. And from this, we as Muslims, we have so many things to take away. May Allah forbid that, if we are lazy and we are disobedient to Allah Azza wa Jal, we are disobedient to the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and we remain in various sinful activities, may Allah Azza wa Jal forbid that what if some type of punishment comes onto us, then where are we going to go?
This is also a blessing from Allah Azza wa Jal that we've been saved from these kind of torments.
Alhamdulillah, it's the mercy of Allah Ta'ala for the sake of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam that such punishments are not taking place now. But if you look at the sinful activities that those people did and various forms of worship, various forms of punishment that came, them sort of problems and issues and sinful activities, they take place today as well. Which type of guna didn't happen before, and it's now happening today. In our society, it seems that we are, people are, they're drowning in the flood of sins.
No doubt.
And it's growing day by day.
And it's only the mercy of Allah that we're not be punished.
We're not punished. And we should thank Allah Azza wa Jal with regards to this. And in the Quran Pak it is mentioned, many cities were destroyed because of people committing sins. And another place Allah Azza wa Jal says in the glorious Quran, and had the people of the cities believed and feared, we would have surely opened for them the blessings from the sky and from the earth.
Subhanallah.
But they denied, and we therefore seized them on account of their deeds. And the reality is, again, remembering the Ashra Maghfirat, which we are still in, we need to look at our sins, reflect upon the action that we do, and the reality is we have nothing to put forward. And the only thing that we can rely on is the mercy of Allah Ta'ala. May Allah Azza wa Jal have mercy upon us and forgive us without accountability. Because there is no accountability. We cannot account for anything. We cannot bear the punishments of Allah Ta'ala. May Allah Azza wa Jal keep us under His mercy in both worlds.
Ameen.
Before we go on to the laws of Salah, I just want to say to our viewers that Allah's mercy is great, that no matter what sins we have committed, the doors of mercy are always open. And whilst this heart is still beating, we have an opportunity to repent in the court of Allah Azza wa Jal. And Amir Sunnat, he says to us that every day before you go to sleep, recite 2 rakats Salatul Tawbah and fill in the Madani and the Matkala. And this is the reflection of what you've done today. Think about what you've done, where you've gone wrong. Try and reflect on that and do tawbah for all the sins that you committed. Then inshallah you can try and rectify yourself on a daily basis. Azim, what have you got for us today? Time again is very, very short. I'm going to be pushing you again.
Okay, sunnah of performing salam. We in the last, we didn't call that yesterday, Tawfiq Bhai, so sunnah of performing salam. Performing salam twice, uttering the following words, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, turning the face to the right side first and then to the left side. Saying both salams loudly is a sunnah for the imam, but the voice for the second salam should be lower than the first one.
Subhanallah.
As soon as the imam utters the word Assalamu while performing the first salam, his salah will finish even if he has not yet uttered the word Alaikum. Therefore, if any latecomers join the Jamaat after the imam has already uttered the word Assalamu, his iqtida, the latecomers, would not be valid. However, his iqtida would be valid if the imam, having performed the first salam, performed sajda-e-sahv, provided sajda-e-sahv had become wajib. When the imam turns his face to the right and the left side whilst performing salam, he should make the intention of saying salam to the people offering salah at his right and left side respectively. Further, he should also intend to say salam to kiram and katibin, as well as the angels deputed for safeguard during both salams. The muqtadi, the one offering salah with the Jamaat, should also intend to say salam to the people and angels on both sides. Further, he should also make intention for the imam, so he's giving salam to the imam, whilst performing salam towards the side where the imam is present. And if the imam is right in front of the muqtadi, he should intend to say salam to the imam whilst performing both the salams. A munfarid should intend to say salam to the angels only.
Munfarid,
the person who reads namaz on his own, he's not with the Jamaat. صلوا على الحبيب صلى الله على محمد
صلى الله
صلى الله
Jimmy, then we've got a few minutes,
عليه
you can-
وسلم إن شاء الله.
Inshallah. Again, whilst he's finding these books are available to download from our website www.dawatislami.net. Please make a habit of reading them. The laws of Salah should be in every house, and the blessings of Ramadan is a book that we should at least read before Ramadan every single year.
We were discussing some exemptions of not fasting and some Madani flowers regarding this topic. If there is a very old one who is growing weaker and weaker day by day and is quite unable to fast, and there seems to be no chance of him being capable enough to fast in the future either, he is allowed not to keep his fasts. He has to give sadaqah-e-fitr about 1.92 kilograms of wheat or its flour or money equivalent to its value, as fidya for each missed fast to a miskin. A miskin is the one who does not possess anything and who has to beg others for food or clothes. He doesn't have clothes for covering his body as well, and begging for a miskin is halal. Next one, if such an old man cannot fast in summer but can in the winter, so now people are keeping their fast in the summer. Over here it says that if you can't keep your fast in the summer but you can in the winter, so he can miss his fasts in the summer, but it will be farz for him to make up for them in the winter. You can't give your fidya there, you have to keep the fast, yeah? Next one.
You mentioned something very important.
Ji.
When you look at the public,
Ji.
a lot of people find the easy way.
Yeah.
You know, give the money of the fidya.
Now, if in the winter in this country is approximately 7 till 4, it's not even that long.
Yeah.
The last point, if he pays his fidya, but later on he regains his strength to fast, his given fidya will turn into a nafal sadaqah instead, and he will have to make up for those missed fasts.
MashaAllah.
Sallu ala al-habib sallallahu ala Muhammad.
My dear Islam brothers and viewers of Madani channel, you've been watching the Silsila Blissfull Saher. We've got quite a few messages here, but I just want to read one last message. And before I do that, there's been people that have been ringing in. Rather than ring in, if you connect yourself on the WhatsApp and give us a message, a voice message on the WhatsApp, then inshallah we can play your message on the Silsila. Somebody's sent us a message here. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I would like to say that on behalf of my sister and myself, how much we enjoy Blissfull Saher. We tune in every day, alhamdulillah. I wanted to request the Muballighs and all brothers and sisters to remember those young people who are sitting their exams while fasting. May Allah Azza wa Jal give the ability to be successful in this world as well as in the akhirat. I know from personal experience how difficult it is to fast while others are not, and many peers encourage you not to fast. I know we've all got that experience. We all are in the workplace where people around us are not fasting, and they cannot understand why we are fasting, and obviously it makes it harder. And you're talking in that message there about those brothers and sisters that are preparing for the exams. Remember this, them are the exams in the dunya. At the same time, we need to prepare for our exams in the akhirat as well. So my dear Islam brothers, please make a habit of whatever you try and learn in this silsila. Here we've been here for 1.5 hours, and hopefully we've learned something. But we don't want you to just learn something, we want you to implement what you've learned, act upon what you've learned, and to pass this knowledge on as well. So I make a request to all the people that are watching this channel as these days are going. The last 10 days of Ramadan are approaching. Is an opportunity, a golden opportunity that we don't want to miss. Again, Tawfiq Bhai mentioned at the beginning that this is one of the blessings that Allah Azza wa Jalla has bestowed upon us. And the brother Wasim Bhai mentioned that in then 10 days, you'll be waiting in namaz, you'll be fasting in the masjid. But more importantly, another blessing that we will receive in the last 10 days, it's inshaAllah Azza wa Jalla, we will be in the house of Allah Azza wa Jalla, fasting in the house of Allah Azza wa Jalla when Laylatul Qadr comes. And that is a night in which Allah Azza wa Jalla said that on this night, that night is greater than 1,000 months. More than that, if in the mercy of Allah Azza wa Jalla, it can be more than that. But even 1,000 months, if I was to say to you, work one night, and you get the wage for 1,000 months, you'll be sitting there with a calculator trying to work out how much you earn in 1,000 months. I think somebody said to me once that 1,000 months is about 80 years. So basically, one night's ibadat is going to be greater, if you find that night, than the ibadah that you could do in all of your life. So what a mercy that Allah Azza wa Jalla has bestowed upon us, what a great opportunity we have. And if you are in the masjid, right, even if, for example, on that night, you're tired, you're weak, and you sleep in the masjid on that night, you don't get a chance to do ibadat on that night, then at least it'll be written in your record of deeds that you spent Laylatul Qadr in the house of Allah Azza wa Jalla. You spent Laylatul Qadr in itikaf. What more can we ask? So my dear Islam, please.
Those individuals who have made intention for performing itikaf, it is very important that they make to the masjid before the end of 20th of Ramadan. Ideally, Asr namaz. Today at
Thursday.
Asr. Just make your way to the masjid.
So today
Stay there.
before Asr namaz, today before Asr namaz on the Thursday, make your way to the masjid and get there and get yourself into Sunnat al-Iqaf. My dear Islam brothers and viewers of Madani channel, you've been watching Blissfull Saher. This is the Sari program in the UK. We're on Madani channel every day for the whole month of Ramadan. Keep watching Madani channel. We'll be here same time, same place. صلوا على الحبيب
صلوا.
صلى الله عليه وسلم.